presented by Scott Credit Union. Yours.
St. Louis Fan Report. Hey, who out there wants to talk a little bit on NHL? Maybe we can talk a little bit of City Soccer. You tell me, what do you want to do? Yes, this is kind of impromptu, but what the hell? The draft is just 2 days away. Yes, that's it. Wendy, how you doing, buddy? Let me send you an invite. Maybe you want to come join this this trash can event of a show that someone's trying to take away from me. God, I freaking hate people right now. Sorry, guys, having a rough day. Something just happened, but you know what? The show's got to go on. I got to do what I got to do. I'm here for you, whether you want me to be or not. So where we go. That is what it is. Let me send Wendy a link. See if anybody from inside the rink wants to join me. Who knows? Maybe they do. I don't know. I actually got oh, that didn't work. Let me see why it didn't work. Something ain't working. Hold on. Yeah, maybe that worked. There we go. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I probably just bored the shit out of you. Oh, my goodness. Ryan Green. Yes, I seen that poll, Ryan. You know, for me, there's a couple of jerseys that stand out for me. Right? And if you look at just, first of all, the Blackhawks is not it. And I'm sorry, and I brought this up before. I don't know how many remember this or it's. I have an issue with the Blackhawks jersey. My mic's being messy. I'm having a rough day, guys, so bear with me. The Blackhawks jersey is a white woman's depiction of a Native American. And, I'm sorry I have an issue with it. Right? I know some people like it, but it is a cartoon of a real person. Right? And if we're gonna sit there and say that everything that was said about Kadri was racist, then we have to say that jersey is racist. So for me, the Blackhawks jersey isn't there, right? And I've talked with Wendy about this, and Wendy I know doesn't completely, he doesn't agree with me, and that's fine. I get that, but at some point there's an issue. Right? And one of the arguments, you have a problem with an argument when your argument is, it wasn't named after him, it was named after an Army unit. Well, the Army unit was named after him. So by proxy, so were you. I like Montreal's jersey. I really do. I think that is the Canadiens jersey is really, really neat because the Canadiens really isn't their team. Right? The name of the team is Les Habitants. The Habitants. That's the name of the team. It's just the English is the Canadiens. Another jersey that I really like is I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm trying to find a way where that works. The Russian line worked too good together. Why would you break that up? Right? And here's the thing. This is an issue that I have with Berube. He broke that line up. That line was working consistently. Consistently, that line worked. And you took it apart and you tried to spread it out. But what you needed to do was get it back together because that line was working. And when that line worked, other things worked. Right? For me, another jersey that I really like is Minnesota's. And I seen in that post that Ryan put out, someone even said it. Minnesota is two emblems in one, right? And it is. It's a bear. The outside is a bear, and the inside is a Minnesota landscape, which I really like. And you can't take away the Blues jersey, right? It's so simplistic in its excellence, right? You know what it is. A jersey works when you know what it is the moment you see it, right? When you hear a team, the Blues, you can think that they're named after the color. You really can, right? I know. I think I don't know if Bob Morton's here, but I know he's a Premier League guy. There's a team in the Premier League that's nicknamed the Blues, right? And it's for the color. It's for their color more than anything else. For me, when you look at a jersey, you have to know what that jersey is, what it stands for. And you know that the Blues stand for the Blues, right? If I go down the jerseys, and I don't have a picture of them all here in front of me, I really don't. I mean, I can picture most of them. Toronto has a very good classic one. I like Toronto's, right? I like Toronto's. Not sure what you're going with there, Brian. Where are we at? I don't know who's here. Oh man, I just lost my head. Oh, here he is. Here's the Windy City Hockey. Windy, how you doing, bud?
Doing all right.
Hey, I know you're not on Facebook a lot, but on Facebook, our buddy Ryan Green put a poll out. Which NHL team has the best jersey? Right?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can pull that up real quick. I got a couple different things going. I'm having a rough day, bud. Having a rough day. So doing a show anyways. Because I love you, man. Give me a second. I'm trying to find this poll that he put out. I know I have it somewhere. Now my internet's working slow. Oh, here it is. Okay. Found it. So let me share it here. I'm struggling, Wendy.
What?
I'm struggling, bud. Here we go. Let's add that to the stream. So here's the poll. I don't know if you can read it or not. It's off of Facebook. And he asked the best NHL jersey. And you go to all, I think number one, I already voted. I voted, but it was number one. I want to say, I don't know why it's doing like this. Montreal at 12%. Chicago Blackhawks at 10%. Boston Bruins at 8%. I don't like the Bruins jersey. I don't think the Bruins jersey really tells you who they are. It doesn't, other than a B. It's a B in a circle. It looks like the Whalers jersey almost with the B in it.
Original six jerseys get the love.
It what?
Get love. The original six teams tend to really favor in these type of polls.
Yeah. Well, I like the Canadiens jersey. I really do. So, I mean, there's the poll. I don't know how many votes are on it. I voted on it, but now it's not showing what the totals are. Right? I shared it, so hopefully, you can see it or come up to it. Let me see if I can go to Ryan Green's page. Hopefully, he doesn't have anything on here that I don't know where he shared it from. He might have put it in a group. So, okay, Ryan, don't want to show too much of your page there, bud. But, well, I mean, for me, yeah, your poll on, we were talking about your poll in the face group. I've already told you about my issues with the Blackhawks jersey, right? And I know you disagree with me.
Mm-hmm.
But my issue is, and I don't know if I'll just restate it. It is a cartoon of a real person drawn of an American Indian drawn by a white woman, right? And that's who drew that jersey. I mean, the original owner's wife drew that.
But that was the original logo, not
How different is that logo from the original? It's not much.
It's very different. It's very different. 1 second.
No problem, bud. Wendy will be right back. Bob is here. Bob, I know you follow Premier League. Isn't there a team in the Premier League called the Blues? And it's the color, not the music, obviously.
So here's the original sweater of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Okay.
Here is the current Chicago Blackhawk
okay.
jersey.
They're actually extremely similar, right? The difference is the color. The difference is the color. I see a lot of similarities in them. The face is the same.
Not really.
The headdress is the same. The headdress is the same.
Headdress is different.
Not much. I mean, it's still a headdress. I mean, you can't. You look at those two and you can see the similarities in them, right?
You can see where the current logo takes basis off, but it doesn't match the original logo. The original logo being made in 1926, the current logo being made in 1964.
Brian Green says it's similar but very different. Well, see, now I'm looking at them without color because that's how you have to look at them, right? You have to take the color out of it because you can't compare a color drawing to a black and white drawing. It's like comparing Gone with the Wind in black and white and Gone with the Wind in color. They're two totally different movies. Yeah. Is that fair where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Okay.
I actually have a jersey that shows that I have the jerseys that have each logo on it. If you want, I can grab them and show you the differences from the evolution of the Hawks logo, basically that way.
I understand that, but it's still, even if you do that, it doesn't take away the fact that original logo, which every other logo is based on, was drawn by a white woman, has a cartoon of a Native American person. Right? That nothing takes away from that.
Yeah.
Guy, the nickname for Chelsea is the Blues. So, but that's the color blues, right? And he also says that Liverpool is known as the Reds, and it's for the color red, not anything else.
Because of what they wear in colors.
That's all. But what I was getting at was I talked about the Blues logo. When you see the Blues logo, you know exactly what they were named for. There's no guessing. And it's like one of the problems I have when people say, oh, we're the Blues. Why are we using red? Because red has nothing to do with our name. The color blue has nothing to do with our name.
I think the main issue with when St. Louis used red, especially in their reverse retro, their issue was their rival is Chicago. What color is the primary color of the Chicago Blackhawks? Red.
Red.
And so I think that was the main issue with St. Louis with a red Blues jersey.
I think for me, and I know that I read it and I don't know where I heard it or whatever. To me, the red represents St. Louis, and it's other than putting the name St. Louis, which I don't have my jerseys hanging up right now, because I don't want them to, from the light, right? So that is something that the red is the first time that they incorporate the city of St. Louis into the jersey, in my eyes. Well, actually, no, I think they used St. Louis Blues once. I'd have to look at the evolution of ours. I don't remember.
Here's a good website I can show you real quick.
Yeah, I think you've sent it to me before. You've got one that shows an evolution of jerseys, right?
It's basically, yeah, it shows the entire history of a team's uniform.
Okay, so let me bring that up.
You could click any team from all eras of the NHL, basically. It's actually something cool if you like looking at trying to figure out what jerseys belong in what era.
See if I can blow it up to where we can see it. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. Let's bring it up, and you know what? I'll go over the evolution of the Blues jersey, and then I'll go over the evolution of the Blackhawks jersey. Is that fair?
Sure.
All right. So here we go. Add it to the stream. I keep forgetting to do that. So if you kind of look at the Blues jersey hasn't really changed much. It's had a couple of heavy changes, but it's gone back to the original, very quickly, right? I mean, it was just the note. Yeah, that was it, just the note, and I think here they used the Blues over it. I forget in 84, 85 who the owner was. Does it blow that up? Yeah, here we go. So I think that's the first time that they used St. Louis in it. Right? And I think that's got the red too. I think that's the first time that they used the red.
Is that when they were getting close to nearly becoming the Saskatoon Blues?
It would have been after it.
Okay.
After it. So I'm going back now. Here we go. So we can click through them. We can click. I didn't realize I could click through all the jerseys so you guys could see them. Let me do one thing real quick. There we go. That might be a little better. So that's the original jersey, right?
Basically what we saw for both of their Winter Classics.
Yeah, pretty much. No, actually, so for the Winter Classic, this white.
I know it's a green,
but that was... They went away from this eggshell white to more of a
off-white. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, it's really off-white though.
Yeah, they went for...
It's more of a beige. It's actually closer to a beige.
Yeah, the thing was they still use the template from the original jersey. Yeah. They just wanted to make it more like a heritage jersey.
Agreed. Right? So now you see they add the yellow here at the bottom, right? The yellow and the blue. Same thing. This is 73 to 74. 74 to 77. Doesn't look like there's much of a change between them.
The only change was adding the nameplate to the white.
The name on the back, right?
Yeah.
Here's a 77 to 79, little bit of change. 79 to 84. Now, 83 is when the move almost happened.
Okay.
Right? So 84. So right after that, that is when the first time that they incorporate the red. And it's the first time the name St. Louis is used. Right? For me, that's huge. That's where this is where they're setting the identity of the team as being St. Louis. And that's something that hadn't been done before. And I think the move had a lot to do with that. Right? And I think for the most part, the red stays with it for a while. 85 to 87. Right after the move. Now you have just the St. Louis in there. The Blues goes away. But I don't think you ever needed the word Blues. I really don't. Still have the red incorporated. Still have the red incorporated. I mean, look, especially on the collar, right? And then you get into really incorporating the red. And for me, I just see all the symbolism in this jersey. Right?
I think it's ugly.
Say again?
I just think it's ugly.
I mean, but everything that's in this jersey means something.
Yeah, I guess. I just think it's
the lines here. Do you know what the lines are?
yes, they're staff.
They're the musical staff.
Yeah.
Right? That incorporates the blues music, right? The blue note.
Yeah. My
right?
thing with this particular design of jersey, I always thought it's jersey design run amok, and it's just kind of disgusting looking. It's over designed.
I disagree, but I like the quote unquote clown jersey. I really do. But then after the owners changed, oh no, still got the red. They added a third jersey. Now, actually, I really like the third jersey.
That's basically what their current away is based off of, right?
I think so. Right. Then now they go. Now the red goes away.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no. So at this point, there's no connection to St. Louis.
Why the heck did St. Louis get rid of the yellow numbers on their when they switched to Adidas?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Right. I don't know what goes into a lot of these decisions. I think that I see a lot of times I think owners don't get involved with these decisions. Now, I really like this third jersey.
The one that retired in 2016?
Yeah, 2014.
2016.
Oh, they used it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
They retired. It retired in the 2015-16 season.
Right. Because I really like it. I do. I have one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then we get to here. I think there's just a slight change.
It's basically their current design, but with yellow numbers.
Yeah. Right. That's 16-17 when that one goes away. This is when Adidas takes over, right?
No, this is still the final year of Reebok. Adidas is now.
Now, okay, when Adidas took over, they originally said they were only going to do 2 jerseys. They were going to get rid of all the third jerseys.
Which they did for the first year in the NHL.
Then they brought back, then they brought back the third jersey, and the Blues used the Heritage Classic. And that's what we've got now.
Yeah.
They didn't show the reverse jerseys. So let's go take a look at
to show that.
Say again?
Just hit the Blues logo on the top of the screen. Go up. Blues logo, hit it. You could scroll down all the way. And there's all the
special events. Okay. I get it now. So let's go with oh wow, you guys have had a lot of.
Yeah, that's why I said I could grab like 4 jerseys basically showing the difference in the logos.
Well, I mean, for me, if I look at this logo, right here, and I go look at the current logo, and I strip away the color from the current logo, and I put them together, other than the face paint, the little cheek marks.
Yeah.
I don't see that many differences.
Hang on. I have the Winter Classic from 2019 that actually has the more modern logo on it.
Right? And I'm not trying to look, I hope you realize, Wendy, I'm not trying to be a dick here.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. That website, so Shackled is asking the name of that website. The website is NHLuniforms.com. NHLuniforms.com. That's where we're looking at. Wendy's a Jersey Hawk. We know that. I don't have a problem with it being called ketchup and mustard. I don't. I really don't. Our jersey being called ketchup and mustard.
Oh,
the reverse retro.
Here's the 2019 Winter Classic with
and That's the original jersey. Basically supposed to be the original jersey,
It's
right?
based off it, yeah.
Okay. Right. Is that an original jersey there that you have, or a copy of an original jersey?
The Blackhawks actually released their archive collection a few years ago.
Okay.
And they released the sweater from 1927.
Okay. Okay. That's actually, now see, when I look at those, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I see this. The original logo is in the new logo. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right. So to say that this logo is so different than the original, it's not a true statement. Right.
They still changed a lot of elements with it.
They added, well, now, see, here's the difference. I don't think they changed it. I think they added it. They added to it because I can still see the original logo in the new one. Right? You put those two logos, I can see where you could semi-pose those on top of each other and you would, the two logos are very close. Now, the face does make some changes. I see where the face goes from like in to out. Does that make sense, Wendy? What I'm saying there?
Yes, I see what you're saying, but
okay. The face
more in person, you could see the differences.
Yeah, but the face goes from like this, right, to this.
Like kind of looking down more so.
It's looking downward, and it's kind of flat, and then it goes from looking downward. You can see where the chin. The whole thing goes up like this, and they add the collar, right?
Yeah.
They add the collar and they lift the face, but the face itself is almost the exact same as the face on the original.
I could see what you're saying, but if you look closer in it, there are a lot more differences.
There's additions. There's not changes. You can, to me, a change, like if you took the BlueNote itself and you took the note part and shifted it like this, that would be a change.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That would be a change. Them taking the chin from here to here is a change. But everything else to me is more of an addition than a change. When you added St. Louis to the logo, you didn't change the logo, you made an addition to the logo. Does that make sense?
I think you changed it because they changed the shape of it. Yeah, they did. They made it more rounded.
For mine or yours?
Yours.
I think in some ways they did change the note a little bit. They made the note fatter. It was originally kind of skinny.
They made it fatter and more rounded in comparison to.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at is there's a difference between a change and an addition. Does that make sense?
I guess I see what you're saying, but
Say again. I didn't mean to jump on you, bud.
What I say by it is a change is if the logo does not look the same, if it's has a lot of change to it over time, like an evolution. The Hawks have done an evolution with their logo over history.
Yeah, I can see some of that, but to me, when you break that logo down, it's still the original logo. And it's just like the Blues logo. It's still the original. It's not like the Islanders who completely changed their logo to a fisherman. Right? Does that make sense? What I'm getting at?
Yeah.
There are teams whose logo has completely... The Kings logo has completely changed.
Yeah, the Kings have changed a lot.
Right? The Avalanche logo.
Not changed.
Yeah, well, considering it was originally the Nordiques, yeah, it's completely changed.
Yeah. The thing with that is you're putting basically, you're comparing basically the franchise's history, yes, but that's like saying the Atlanta Thrashers to the Winnipeg Jets. The
Yeah,
Winnipeg
I get that a little bit.
Winnipeg does not even think of the Winnipeg. No, Winnipeg does not think of the Atlanta Thrashers as their history, which is wrong. They should, because every
I
other
agree with
team
that.
in the NHL that's been relocated recognize their history with other teams. The Whalers,
I'm with you there.
Carolina,
I'm with
the
you.
Avalanche from Quebec, the Coyotes from Winnipeg. They recognize themselves as the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, they do. I'm with you there.
When it comes to the city and fan base, their fans that grew up supporting the teams, their original uniforms should stay with their original city. Like the Hartford Whalers should not be worn by the Carolina Hurricanes like 3 games a year, which the Canes have been doing for the past 3 seasons.
Well, I see, but doesn't that go against what you were just saying? You're saying that they should recognize
them, but they shouldn't be wearing the jersey, in my opinion. I like seeing the jerseys every now and then, but I just don't think they should be wearing the jersey unless they do a special event game in their former city. Like if Colorado went over to Quebec for 1 game a year, wear a Quebec Nordique jersey and honor your former city that way. I think that's the best way to do it.
I can see that. I can see that. I see it both ways.
And then here's another thing. If you have the Winnipeg Jets and Calgary Flames play 1 game in Atlanta, have the Flames wear Atlanta Flames jersey, have the Jets wear a Thrashers jersey.
Oh, that would be cool.
See where I'm coming from?
Yeah, that would be that would be cool.
I think that would be an awesome idea.
Aren't the Flames just one of the few teams that did move that kept the original name?
I believe so. The Dallas Stars technically did because they just eliminated North Stars.
But to me it's a different name. I get what you're saying where they eliminated the North.
But if you look at the North Stars final jersey in Minnesota, it was a Dallas Stars jersey. It did not say North Stars on it. It did not have the N with the star over it.
Yeah, because even then they were being called the Stars.
Yeah. And
I get that. I get that to a point.
But it's the Atlanta Flames to Calgary Flames. They're pretty much the only team that really kept their original name.
Yeah. And what's cool, well, one of the thing was that when they did move up there, the Flames fit because of the oil rigs.
Yeah.
Right? Because both Calgary's more of a
farm.
Calgary is north, but it's more of a cowboy town.
Yeah.
But it's also an oil rig town. Just like the Oilers down north are more of an oil rig town. The Flames from the oil rigs, right? From the oil rigs. I think that's why they kept the name Flames.
They might have, or they just thought the name just sounded nice. It rolled off the tongue. Calgary Flames rolls off the tongue. If they went with, what's this say? The Calgary Cowboys, that sounds like it would work. Yeah. Because there was a team named that in the WHA.
I think with the Cowboys, they didn't want to impede on the Dallas Cowboys there.
But I'm just trying to come up with, say, like, if the Calgary Flames did not keep the Flames name, that's probably the only name they would have gone with.
Well, do you? Here's a good one I can throw in there real quick. Do you think Vegas got their name right?
No.
What would you have liked to have seen Vegas name themselves?
What I would have called the Golden Knights, I would have called them the Vegas Aces. Not because of the gambling.
Yeah.
because of the high. Vegas is a high aviated area with
Yeah.
the fact there is military training over
Yeah.
in Vegas. The
Yeah.
Vegas Aces works as a name, and honestly, they could have come up with a great logo. As
Yeah,
the
no.
Vegas Aces.
I think that, and maybe this name is out there, but I don't know why they didn't go with calling them the Strips, Vegas Strips, because
I'm willing to bet the NHL basically shot.
well,
that
no,
one
because
down.
when you think it's the same way, it's a play on words.
Yeah, I am aware.
Because what's another word for a runway? A strip.
Yeah.
Right? And that was a way they could play on it. Good question for you. Let's bring this up. Let's bring up the most hated man on the Blue Note Fan Report, Nazem Kadri. He wants 8.5 to 9.5 million over 6 to 8 years.
Where was that reported? I didn't see anything saying that.
It came out. I've heard it come out on a couple of chats that I'm in. I don't know that it's been fully reported like that, but that's the number that I'm hearing.
Okay.
Do you think he's worth that?
Not at his age.
Do you know what I think he's worth? You know what he's worth to me?
You're going to say pennies on a dollar.
Well, you know what? I think he's a Ryan Reeves. I think you put him on any other team.
I wouldn't put him compared to Ryan Reeves because
you put him on any other team, he's just a goon. He had the year he had because he was on Colorado. That's it.
The thing with Kadri, he does have the scoring touch. He has a defensive style of game with him. And he's not just a guy who headhunts. Ryan Reeves is more a hitting goon. And Kadri, you're getting more from him.
Do you think he's going to score 80 or more points ever again?
I think he could do it again.
No, you know what? He won't even get close. You know why? What he's doing right now proves to me who and what he is, and that he's whatever contract he signs, when he signs his big contract, God, who was the guy? Oh, man, someone is sitting in my mind that was the epitome of this. Had a big year, signed a big contract, and then went away. Like was nothing afterwards. There's somebody, it's like sitting on the, I want to say Lindros, but I don't think it was Lindros.
I never liked Lindros, but
right.
I think I know, it's probably Yashin.
Who?
Dmitry Yashin.
Dmitry did that with the Blues, yeah. Hutton kind of did that. I'll agree with that. That Kadri is, you look now, him wearing the shirt, too many men. Okay, that right there goes to show me what he's all about.
I mean, look what the Lightning wore in their Stanley Cup parade last year.
What? I don't remember, honestly.
They were wearing shirts saying, "Over the cap, my ass."
Because you know what? They weren't over the cap.
Yeah.
But there were too many men on ice.
There were. And they made... that shirt was made by a shirt company that has been known for making meme shirts.
Okay.
And
fair enough. But you know what?
That's where Kadri ended up finding
where's the humility? Isn't that what we want from our players? Don't we want humility?
Yeah, you do in a way, but like, for instance, the way everything went down and Kadri winning the Stanley Cup, coming back from breaking his finger and having surgery in the Cup final, that's actually kind of impressive. You have to put that in a way.
I do. I do.
You can't take that away from him.
I do admit that was impressive. Okay.
He had surgery on his finger.
On his thumb.
Yeah, and he ended up scoring a crucial goal in the series that put the team up.
An illegal goal in the series.
Yes, and that's where the shirt started coming out as memes, and they took it and with stride and ended up saying, okay, we'll go on and win the cup still.
I get it. Well, I mean, that goal should have was
Oh, I agree. Goal. I even said that goal should not have counted in real time.
Yeah,
it counted. It couldn't be reviewed, and there was a mess by it.
I would love. See, here's the thing. There's no video, a long shot before that picture that's taken when he's at the. I would love to see when he's not in that 5-foot zone, right? And that picture right there would nullify everything, and people would. But because the picture shows him standing at the bench, oh, see, he's at the bench, not taking into account that everybody's on the other side of the ice.
Yeah.
And that there's nowhere they get on the Dale. Okay, Dale, I'm going to address this. And we've talked about this before. The 4 men that were on Tampa Bay, that was a change. That was a legitimate change. Those 4 guys were all within 5 feet of the bench. They all were. That was a change. When McKinnon gets to the bench and stands there in the zone, which made it offsides in my eyes, he had 1 skate in, 1 skate out. To me, that's offsides. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Stands there at the bench. His guy that changed is Kadri, who's all the way. Everybody is on the other side of the ice. Everybody is on the other side of the ice. There were, for a 10-second period, 6 guys in Colorado's play. 2, the 5 for Tampa. We've shown that, Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everyone wants to talk. They look at the picture in the here and now, and that's the problem. It's not the here and now. The picture is... The problem, that picture should have been taken 10 seconds ago, and we saw from that video where Kadri enters the ice, somebody's coming in but doesn't go to the bench.
Yeah.
Now, is that Kadri's fault that he doesn't go to the bench? No. But Kadri entered the ice long before this guy got in the 5-foot zone.
Mm-hmm.
Long before he was in the 5-foot zone.
Yeah.
Right? Well, you know what? That's the problem. It shouldn't be that way. I think when you just say, oh, they fucked up, nothing we can do about it. No, it's our voices that continue to talk that make changes. You just can't say, oh, it's over and done. The NHL changed a rule. Because people talked about it so much, or the NFL. You know what rule I'm talking about? This rule was heavily talked about. Everybody thought it was an illegal play, and they changed the rule to make it an illegal play. You know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
I wonder if anybody knows what rule I'm talking. This is in the NFL. There is, and it involves a very famous player.
The Tuck rule?
The Tuck rule. The Tuck rule. They changed that. They took it out after that. It was there to protect the quarterback, but it was used ineffectively to stop a fumble.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everyone was upset with that, completely upset with it, with the exception of New England, obviously. But the NHL, the next season, removed that rule.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. We have issues in the NHL. See, this makes me, I stopped writing my articles because I thought nobody would give a fuck. But maybe I should go back to it. It really is something that needs to be looked at. Okay, Ryan, let me check it out. Make sure it's show worthy before I.
Here's a question for you though, to kind of get you off the heated topic for a little bit.
I don't know if you'll get me off a heated topic, but
there's teams that are rumored to make jersey changes in this coming season. A team like the Edmonton Oilers,
Yeah.
they are expected to make their change officially to their royal blue. What's your thoughts on them going back to royal blue full time?
I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with them. I think, to be honest, I think smart teams change jerseys every 3 to 4 years.
There, I would disagree with. If you have a good jersey and you know it's a good jersey, you don't change it.
Well, here's the problem with that, right? You and me are anomalies. Most people buy 1, maybe 2 jerseys. Mm-hmm. That's it. Okay? They don't have a jersey with every player, every player on that year's team in their closet. The majority of people get 1 jersey and that's it. Right? Mm-hmm. Well, when you switch jerseys, it does get them to change their jersey and buy new jersey. It does reinvigorate jersey sales. Reinvigorating jersey sales does 2 things. One, actually, the most important thing it does is it gets your name out because it's newsworthy. And it also puts money in the pockets of both the player and the team.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that when you buy that jersey, if you buy a jersey with a name on it, the player gets some of that money.
Here's another thing, though.
Yes.
They don't get the money if you get it a blank one, then make it customized.
Actually, if you buy a blank one, you are not supposed to be able to put a current player's name and number on it.
No, that's not true.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure that it's illegal, because if you're doing that, you're subverting the system and the player doesn't get his money. I think that stores I know you worked at one of the stores, but I'm pretty sure that you were that the NHL has set precedents that the store is not supposed to put. Like right now, if I ordered a blank jersey and tried to put a player's name and number on it at NHL.com, they would charge me for the player's type jersey.
If you buy the jersey directly from the team and it's a blank jersey and get it customized by the team, and you want a current player on it, they give you the option to give you the current players.
But that's more expensive jersey.
Mm-hmm. Like this Kirby Dach jersey back here.
Yes.
I got this one blank at the 2019 Blackhawk convention.
Okay.
They gave the option to customize the jersey with any name, any number on it for an additional $20.
Okay.
So I knew I was getting Kirby Dach's autograph, so I made that into a Kirby Dach jersey.
But if you'd have bought a Kirby Dach jersey, would it have been the same price?
I believe so, yeah. Because the thing was, they didn't have any Kirby Dach jerseys made yet because he was just drafted.
At that point, he's not in the NHL yet. He doesn't get the money for the name and the number.
But he did have his entry-level contract already signed.
Even when you sign your entry-level contract, until you step foot on and play in an NHL game, you're not considered in NHL. You're not part of the NHLPA, right? When a guy goes down to the minors, Neil, when Neil goes to the minors, I'm pretty sure, and I'd have to double check on this. When Neil goes to the minors, he actually is no longer part of the NHLPA.
I don't know if that's true necessarily anymore.
I think that there's different rules for the NHL and there are for the AHL. And I think that when you go down, you have to abide by the rules for the AHL, which doesn't have the Players Association. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that the Players Associate, when you go down, it doesn't matter.
Here's another thing. There's websites that are out there that tend to only get blank jerseys, but give you the option to customize it with any name and number. And they're credible websites by the
they're a
NHL.
legitimate company, if they have a NHL license,
They do have an NHL license.
Then they've got to pay the player. They've got to pay the player for every jersey that has his name on it. I'm almost dead certain of this. That was what the original. That's what the '94 strike was all about. That's exactly what the '94 strike was all about. You may not remember it, but I do. And then the 94-95 strike and the 04 strike had everything to do with, well, the 94 strike had everything to do with playing cards, players' likenesses. And then the 04 strike had everything to do with merchandise.
Okay.
Merchandise and the salaries.
Maybe
I'm almost dead certain on that. I'm almost dead certain on that.
I'm not. I don't think it is in that way, because like teams give you the option to buy the blank and get a name and number of any player on it.
That's got to be only if you went to the Chicago Blackhawks store right now and tried to get an 88 with Kane, they would tell you have to buy an 88 Kane jersey.
No, actually not.
Then it's got to be the same. The customization has to be the same price of the Kane jersey, because they have to pay Kane for that jersey. They have to mark that down as a Kane sold jersey.
I'm pulling up the Blackhawks store website right now.
Hey, Shucky! You know, I've heard both. I've heard two different things. I've heard that a lot of people are impressed with the guys at the top of the draft and think that there are steals all the way through the draft, but next year they're impressed. I was told originally this draft
more deep.
Originally this draft. Sorry, Wendy. Originally this draft
this year could be viewed as weak as 2012. Next year's draft is supposed to be one of the deepest we've seen in a long time.
Ryan, is that a bad thing or a good thing, my friend? That we're doing Blues versus Blackhawks today. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Right? I lost what you said, bud.
I basically already finished what I said.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I blanked it. So what did you? The draft. We were talking about the draft.
Yeah, the draft. Okay.
I had heard that this draft was going to be as deep as 4 rounds. Right. And then that kind of backed off to like 3.5 rounds or 3 rounds. But they're not talking about superstars all the way down through the 3 rounds. They're talking about just NHL ready players. Next year, they're talking about superstars throughout the entire draft. Am I right or wrong?
It's viewed in that way, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be superstars all the way through, but you are going to end up with a good prospect.
Who's the best late round draft pick ever?
Ooh.
I already know who my answer is.
Best late round. Okay. I got it.
I know your answer won't be the same as mine, but go ahead.
Dustin Byfuglien.
I got even a better one.
Dustin Byfuglien was drafted in a round that doesn't even exist anymore.
That's true, but not true.
No, it's true.
No, because the number he was drafted at still exists. There's just more teams, so that changes it. Right? Oh, Maddie. Hey, Maddie. How you doing, buddy? Maddie says Luc Robitaille. I got an even better one than Luc Robitaille. Is Byfuglien in the Hall of Fame?
No, he just retired a couple of years ago.
Is he going to be in the Hall of Fame?
He could.
He could. What about Luc Robitaille?
Robitaille, yeah.
Is he in or could he be?
He's in the Hall.
He's in the Hall. Okay, I wasn't sure. Brett Hull, 6th round pick, 7th round pick.
Okay.
Right? Guy went on to be one of the best goal scorers in the league ever. And and not only that, had the strike not happened, I mean, there's a few cases there where he could have passed Gretzky. And not like dream scenarios. I mean, legitimate, the ball just bounced the wrong way type things.
Buffalo was drafted in the 8th round, 16th pick in that round at 245.
And I know they still draft number pick. 245 this year.
There is not.
How many picks are there this year?
Let me pull it up.
I want to say there's 260. Because you have compensatory picks added in there. That's undrafted guys are a different category.
Yeah, that's a whole nother category.
Yeah. I have an undrafted that I think is the best undrafted ever, and he's not in the Hall. Which is a travesty that he's not in the Hall, especially after somebody that got put in the Hall this year. There's somebody that got put in the Hall this year that I think this person was so much better than in his tenure.
Let's hear it then.
Longo got put in the Hall this year.
Oh yeah, I disagree with Luongo getting drafted into the Hall.
Cujo was so much better than Longo, and I don't care that he didn't win a cup.
What pick number did I say Bufflin was?
240 something, I think.
There are 224 draft picks in the NHL draft. He was drafted 245.
224 this year? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought there were more. I thought that I really did.
7 rounds, 32 teams each. That's 200.
Okay, but that's not adding compensatory picks. That's not adding compensatory picks.
I'm looking at the actual draft, how many draft picks there are supposed to be this year.
Okay.
224 draft picks.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm wrong. Undrafted guys, for me, it's Cujo.
Marty St. Louis. I would go with Marty St. Louis.
Right. Well, I get he's in the Hall of Fame. I get who he what he was. I just think it's a travesty with Cujo. Right. I just think that the NHL has overlooked him for whatever. But I think he only played 11 years, though. I think Cujo only played 11 years.
He was injured too much.
Yeah. But
that's why his numbers aren't Hall of Fame worthy, I guess.
Number 4 with wins when he retired. He was 4th in wins. And again, they had ties too. So that had a lot to. I'm number 4 in wins. I don't care how much you're injured. That deserves you to be in the Hall of Fame, right? I think he's the highest. I think he's on the win list, the highest guy that's not in the Hall.
I don't think so.
Let me look.
Technically, that belongs to Hendrik Lundqvist.
Well, okay, but Lundqvist just retired, right?
Yes, but
he's not Hall eligible yet.
Next year he is.
Well, yeah, and then he's probably going to get in.
Yeah, Lundqvist will make the Hall of Fame. Here's a question. Next year is the Hall of Fame class for first ballot Hall of Fame eligible players. Who makes it out of the first ballot? Hendrik Lundqvist, we all agree, is a lock. Here's the other players.
Okay.
Brent Seabrook, Corey Crawford. I just had it pulled up, actually.
Okay, Curtis Joseph, right now, today, sits 7th in wins. 7th in wins. And again, remember, there were no ties or they have it listed as shootouts, but there were no shootouts then. He just had ties. Right?
Uh-huh.
So He was 454 wins, 352 losses, a 906 save percentage. That's comparable, somewhat comparable.
I'm just
Belfer
saying
was-
the player
no.
who got snuffed this year, though, was
Comparable to Belfer. He's comparable to Belfer. Other than a cup. The only thing that Belfer's got over him is a cup. That's the only thing Belfer's got over him, and Belfer's in the Hall, right?
Yeah, Belfour's a Hall of Famer.
Right? Brodeur, Waugh, Fleury. Okay, Fleury's ahead of him, but he's not. He's still playing. Longo, who just got in Hall. Belfer, Lundqvist, who's not Hall eligible. Terry Sawchuk. Then these are the guys behind him. Sawchuk in the Hall. Plant in the Hall. Esposito in the Hall. Glenn Hall in the Hall. Grant Fuhr in the Hall. Osgood, I don't know if he's in the Hall.
No, he's not.
Okay. So you go all the way to Osgood at 13 with 401 wins to 454 wins. You're talking 50 more wins. And Joseph played in 943 games. Osgood played in 744 games.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm sorry. Joseph's numbers are good enough for the Hall. To me, they're good enough for the Hall.
Okay. To add on to the Hall of Fame talk, first ballot Hall of Fame eligible players for 2023.
Okay, go ahead and read them off.
Here's the list, as from NHL Network a couple of days ago.
Mhm.
Hendrik Lundqvist, we can agree he's a Hall of Famer. First ballot, probably. Right?
I think he's a second ballot, but yes, I'll agree he's a Hall of Famer.
Justin Williams, 3-time Stanley Cup champion with the Hurricanes and LA Kings. That's all he has to his title.
Is that Mr. Game 7?
Yes.
He's a fringe guy to me.
I would agree he's fringe, but he probably makes it in probably 3 years.
3 or 4 years. Well, it depends on what classes are ahead of him, what's coming in.
Yeah.
Down the line. Okay.
Brent Seabrook. He's a triple gold club member with 3-time Stanley Cup champion. And
Seabrook
at
is a
one
borderline
point,
guy.
he did lead the NHL all time in shot blocks.
He's a borderline guy. The 3 Stanley Cups help him a lot.
I kind of think he makes it on first ballot Hall of Fame eligible next year. I can see him making it because it seems like the voters like to have at least 2 first ballot Hall of Famers.
Who else is eligible?
Jay Burmeister.
Bouwmeester's not going to get in the Hall.
Yeah, and I kind of agree there. And then Corey Crawford, 2-time Stanley Cup champion and a World Cup of Hockey champion.
Problem with Crawford is you're not getting
multiple Jennings trophies.
Okay, you're not getting 2 Blackhawks in the same year.
I mean,
you're getting 2 Blackhawk first timers in.
I mean, you did just get 3 Canucks all in on first ballot this year.
Yeah, but the difference there is 2 of them were twins.
Yes, but you also get Luongo, who we both agree should probably.
Yeah, but Longo. When you look at Longo, do you look at Longo as a Canuck or something else?
I would say he is a Canuck because his better years were with the Vancouver Canucks, and he played with the Canucks for at least 10 years. And then you can also view him as a Florida Panther, yes. But I think I would view him as a Canuck. He was the captain of the Vancouver Canucks.
He did 2 stints with the Panthers. He did 2 stints with the Panthers. He was drafted by the Panthers.
No, he wasn't.
No? Who was he drafted by?
By the New York
Islanders. Okay.
They traded him to the Panthers because they drafted Rick DiPietro. Let's all celebrate on the first. That was
he did 11 years with the Panthers and only did 7 with Canucks.
But with the Canucks, though, he was named captain. He was also probably their best player on their team at points. For like about 5 years, he was their best player on their team.
I don't know. That's a hard one. That's a tough one for me. I think of him more. I think of him more as a Panther than I do a Canuck. I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying you're wrong. For me, it's a harder sell saying he's a Canuck than it is to say he's a Panther, and especially with him retiring with the Panthers.
Yeah, he retired with the Panthers, but his contract. Oh, yeah, his contract went back to the Canucks as capture that we were talking about the other night.
Yeah, I get it. It's just harder for me. I
just think I could view him on both teams, to be quite honest.
If he retired with now here's the thing, if he retired with Vancouver, he doesn't get in this year. I think the fact that he retired with the Panthers is why he ends up getting in.
We'll see, because honestly, I want to see what jersey they put him in on his plaque.
They don't put them in jerseys, do they? I thought they.
Yes, they do.
I thought they just did the heads and then you listed all
the
teams.
They put a head, but they do get a little bit of the jersey on you, and you can tell what team jersey it is.
Okay.
Because like the Blackhawk, when Marian Hossig made it to the Hall of Fame, his plaque, he was wearing a Blackhawk jersey.
Okay,
not a Red Wing, not a Penguin, not a Thrasher, not a Senator.
See, when a guy has 5 or 6 teams like that, that's hard. I mean, Gretzky went in as an Oiler, but he played for 4 different teams.
Yeah, but he's more known for the Oilers.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think he's more known for the Kings than he was the Oilers.
I think you could put it in both ways, but I still would say he's more known for the Oilers because he won all his cups and had more success with the Oilers than the Kings.
No, fair enough. Wow, what a good discussion.
Pavel Datsyuk will make the Hall of Fame in 3 years because he just officially announced retirement.
Yeah. No, I see him first ballot.
Oh, yeah, he will be. I wonder, the player who I would say that got snuffed from first ballot this year, who should have made it, was Henrik Zetterberg.
Yeah, Zetterberg kind of, well, I got to be honest. I thought that I didn't think that the Sedin twins should have gone in first ballot.
They did it just because they're the twins.
I get that, but I look at them and I think that they held, especially towards the latter part of their career, they held that franchise back.
Oh yeah, they did, but the issue was no one wanted their contracts.
Well, again, it's the playing for the name on the back instead of the name on the front.
I don't think the Sedins are that way. And I'm a Blackhawk fan saying this. Hawk fans hate the Sedins. We absolutely hate the Sedins. The early 2010s, I would say this, the Blackhawks and Canucks were a larger rivalry than the Blackhawks and Blues.
I could see that.
We hated the Sedins with a passion.
Well, that's the one thing that playoff did. The best 8 kind of sort of did it. It was called the best 8. It really wasn't. Is it did create some playoff rivalries that probably wouldn't have existed.
Mm-hmm. Because we played the Canucks for 3 years in a row in the playoffs. And here's our thing with the Canucks. We hate Vancouver because we hate the players they had on them. They had the Sedin twins. They had Roberto Luongo. They had Ryan Kessler, who can be arguably one of the most hated players in NHL history. They had Rafty Torres, who is the most hated player in Chicago sports history because the guy was dirty as hell, wanting to kill someone on the ice. He nearly did it to Brent Seabrook in 2011, and he did it when he was on the Coyotes in 2012 when he played against us, and he sent Marian Hossa to the hospital, and I believe he broke Hossa's jaw, and we all thought Hossa's career could have been over after it happening.
Yeah.
So we have history and why we hate them. And the funniest thing happened when Jonathan Toews in his Silver Stick ceremony game this year, the Sedin twins made a video and congratulating Jonathan Toews. Guess what happened at the United Center?
Got booed.
Booed loud, and it was great because it happened again a few weeks later for Pat Foley night for his final game, broadcasting a game, because Joe Buck made a video congratulating Pat Foley on a great career. So Hawk fans even booed Joe Buck loud and proud.
Why would you boo Joe Buck?
Because we do not like Joe Buck in Chicago. The way he broadcasts games is so monotone and so biased to St. Louis.
Oh, no, it's not. You will ask St. Louis fans. You ask St. Louis baseball fans, and they will tell you that he's biased against St. Louis.
Anytime he does a Cub versus Cardinal game, he's biased, and it's towards St. Louis. We freaking hate the guy with a passion. In the World Series, Cub fans legit made a what was it? What is it called? Something for people to write in there, sign this, had signatures written in to make it where Joe Buck is not calling Chicago Cubs in the
petition.
World Series.
A petition.
Yes, a petition. I couldn't think of the word real quick, but Cub fans made that a thing. We made a petition to make it where Joe Buck is not broadcasting the Cubs in the World Series.
Oh, no, I could see that.
We do not like Joe Buck.
Man, now my likes went down. I used to get all these likes. Now I have one. Thanks, Jose. I appreciate it, bud. Nobody likes me anymore on Facebook. Oh, well. We really see, even in St. Louis, they don't like Buck. Right? I mean, I tell you, they think he's biased against St. Louis.
I think really everyone hates Joe Buck, frankly. But in Chicago, he's very hated.
If it wasn't for the Buck family, you guys wouldn't have had your best announcer ever.
Well, there was more of a reason why Harry Carey got fired by St. Louis.
Oh, yeah, it had to do with him hitting on Gussie's wife.
It also was him drinking Miller Lite on.
Oh, that was after. That was after. No, it has everything to do with he was either having an affair or something going on with one of the members of the Bush family, and that's why he got fired. And then after he gets fired, that's when he pulls the Miller Lite and drinks it. But he drank Budweiser in Chicago.
Yeah,
he still drank Budweiser.
Yeah, I know.
Cubs fan, Bud man. That was him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, so all that stuff went, that was just his way of telling Gussie to go stick it.
But I would say this. Harry Carey, this is the Chicago sports broadcasting Mount Rushmore. It's Pat Foley, Harry Carey, Jack Brickhouse, and probably Pat Hughes.
St. Louis is a little harder. For St. Louis, I know it's Buck, Joe Buck, it's Dan Kelly, and then I'm kind of not certain who the other ones would be. I think Chris Kerber might be there, and I also think that John Kelly might be there. Okay. You could possibly put Ken Wilson there. Ken Wilson did both the Blues and the Cardinals. Dizzy Dean was an announcer for a while, so there's a lot there. My granny worked at Parents in St. Louis back in the day and was friends with Harry Carey's wife when they were in St. Louis. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I kind of sort of remember those days. I'm a little young for that. I think Carey left in the early 70s. Right? But I'm a Buck guy. I don't remember Carey. I remember Jack Buck. Right?
I can pull up when Harry Carey left St. Louis in 69.
I was a year old. Well, I was less than a year old.
He originally was broadcasting for the St. Louis Browns from 45 to 46, then went to the Cardinals from 45 to 69, went to Oakland for 1 year, and broadcast for the A's in 1970, went to the White Sox, broadcast for them in 71 to 81, and became the Cubs' famous broadcaster from 82 to 97.
Did he pass first or did Buck pass first? I think he did.
He did.
Yeah, he died in what, 97?
Yeah.
I just left Chicago when he died. I had just left. Right? I want to say he died in November, December of 97. Is that right? Oh, Mike Shannon. Yeah, I could put Mike Shannon there. Yeah, you're right. Is that when he died, Wendy?
What?
When did he die in 97?
Oh, he died February 18th, 98.
98,
so right
yeah.
before
So
the 98 season.
Yeah, because I left in like September of 97.
Okay.
I think so. I think his son, either his son or his grandson, still broadcasts, right?
Yeah, for the Atlanta Braves.
The Braves. Okay. Hey, Wendy, good show tonight, man.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. You know, I needed somebody to talk to, so I appreciate it, bud.
No problem.
Hey, guys, have a great night. Remember, the draft is on Thursday. I'll do a live show. I'm pretty sure Wendy's going to do a live show.
I don't know because I could be very ticked off that day because the Hawks traded away DeBrincat, or very ticked off we don't have a first-round pick.
Well, you can always join me then.
We'll see.
Okay, so tomorrow I have an appointment at 3:00 my time, which means I will not be home by 4, which is 9 your time. So I'm not sure I'm doing a show. If I do one, it might be a half hour late. But hey, who knows? I love you all. Have a great day. This is Guy the White Blues fan saying aloha mahalo, and I'll see you on the flip side.